Hey guys, I'm Jase at Jase Outdoors, and in this video, I have the opportunity at the biggest buck that I've ever even seen in Pennsylvania. Okay, so just a little bit of a backstory on this hunt. This is an area I've been hunting for many years, and this was the first year that I just was not able to run trail cameras. My work schedule changed. I just couldn't get out in the daytime. I purposely stayed out of this spot all of October. And it wasn't until about end of October I had learned of this buck that was in the area from a fellow hunter, and that it was big. And I saw pictures of it, and it was absolutely huge. And it got into my head, and I'm thinking, how am I going to hunt this buck? And I tend to overthink everything, trying to find a big buck. And it got to the point where it was like, it's all I thought about. And I said, you know what? I just got to stop this. I'm just going to go hunt my stand. The chances of finding this deer are going to be really slim. There's other big bucks around. So, I'm going to go hunt one of those, and maybe I'll get a glimpse of this deer. So fast forward to November 1st, and it's only the third time I was in this spot. And the weather had changed, and a doe pops out at like 150 yards. So I'm watching this doe, and I'm like, I can't believe there's just not a buck with her. And sure enough, I just see this rack come up out of the brush. It's all overgrown prickers. And I was just like, wow. I was so pumped that I even got to lay eyes on this deer. It was just gorgeous. I'm watching him through with binoculars. And I mean, there's a long ways to get to me. And there's just so many different directions he could go. I never got excited about getting a shot because I'm like, there's no way he's coming by me. And fast forward to the doe, she starts coming down by me, and I'm like, wow, they're going to come by fairly close. Well, she steps out behind this tree at 50 yards. And I already had it in my head that I am not shooting this buck at 50 yards because I assumed he would just follow the doe. And sure enough, he steps out behind the tree. Well, for whatever reason, he broke down and came towards me and hung out under this low-hanging tree. And he was in there what felt like forever, just kind of raking his antlers. And I don't know what he was doing because I couldn't see him most of the time. But while he was under there, I ditched the camera. I couldn't get it to do what I wanted. The wind was blowing the arm away. And I just said, I cannot screw this up because of trying to film like I have done in the past. So I just kind of pushed the camera away. I'm sorry this video is terrible. It's not even in focus, but I'm surprised I even have the deer in frame. But he eventually steps out looking for that doe and comes by at 28 yards and stops broadside. So this deer runs off like there's nothing wrong with it. He didn't mule kick. He didn't react. It just ran up the hill, and he ran uphill, so I immediately was like, I thought it was a perfect shot, but what happened? I mean, it looked like it was right behind his shoulder, and the arrow did not even penetrate the deer. It just kind of, in the heat of the moment, it looked like it hit the deer and bounced off of it, basically. I mean, when it's happening that fast, it just looked like it popped right back out. So I'm going from, being scared to, excited to just being nervous because I couldn't handle losing another deer. I'm coming off of a missed streak that's probably a little embarrassing to even admit. I've missed a few in a row. I've lost a couple. So it's been several years since I was able to connect with my bow, and especially one this big. I just wouldn't have been able to handle it. So I know a lot of you might think my reaction here is just a little over the top, but it's just, how I felt in the heat of the moment. And if you've ever been down this road, then you'll probably understand.
Oh my God. Oh don't know if that was a good shot. Oh my God. What a giant. That is by far the biggest PA deer I've ever even seen. Oh my God. The arrow didn't go in very far. I'm kind of nervous about that. Oh my God. Yes. Yesterday it was 66 degrees and it dropped down to 38, and I'm like, I gotta get in this tree. I cannot believe it. I can't tell if that was a good shot. I'm freaking shaking so bad. I'm so damn nervous. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm so scared. He didn't mule kick or anything, I don't think. Oh my gosh, it all just comes a blur. I did see blood. The arrow didn't go in very far.
So I pack up all my gear and I climb down because I just have to see my arrow, because I'm just so confused on whatever happened. So my arrow's laying right there, and the furthest point that I have blood on this arrow is right about here. So not even half the arrow went in this deer, and about 2 inches of it is missing. So I just assumed I caught his shoulder, and it busted off and fell out. So I'm not sure if this penetrated at all. I mean, there's blood on it, and that's why I put a white wrap on the end of my arrow so I can see blood a little bit better, because on the shaft it gets real hard to see. There's no blood from as far as I can see from where I'm standing where the arrow was on the ground. There's nothing. So again, I'm just freaking out, and I decided to back out for a little while. It was really hard for me to wait on this one.
All right, so I gave it even a little longer, and I just started sneaking up here. It's really windy, so, and wet. We had a lot of rain last night, so it's super quiet, and I'm gonna mosey in here as quiet as I can. And as I get up in here, there's starting to be some good blood. I'm feeling a little bit better about it now. I'm still just, my stomach is in knots. And he went into the thickest area in this woods. I'm gonna try to be quiet anyway. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, all right, I'm there. Yeah, there's good blood here. It's getting a little easier to follow now. Yeah, blood. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh my God. I'd feel so much better if I saw him go down. He's in the thickest. That's all briars. Oh, there's good blood here. There's good blood. Come on, baby. Alright. He is bleeding good. There's a lot of blood going right up there. Come on, baby. I see his tail. I don't know if he's still alive. Oh my God. He's dead. He's dead. this. Oh my God. This is a buck of a lifetime in Pennsylvania. Oh my God. Oh my. I just taking this in. Holy. I can't even believe this. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this buck. I can't even get to him. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. I cannot believe it. Oh my.
Well, as you can see, I was super pumped to find this deer and super relieved. And again, all the emotions just kind of hit you. It was such a relief. And to walk up on that animal that was just magnificent, I just couldn't soak it in enough. It was just absolutely amazing. I can't even describe the feeling. But ultimately what had happened is when we had skinned it, I found the broadhead lodged in the opposite shoulder. So the arrow went all the way in that deer and almost came out the other side. But in the heat of the moment, you know, when it's that fast, it just, to me, it looked like that arrow just hit that deer and bounced off its front shoulder, which, you know, was why I was just sick to my stomach about it. But, you know, seeing it now, yeah, that deer didn't stand a chance. And he only went like 50 yards. So my buddy Mikey's coming out to help me get this deer out of here. And he has no idea what I shot. So this is going to be fun. He's like, is it big or is it really big? I was like, yeah, well, if you're bored, you want to come out and help me, I could use some help. We'll see. This should be funny.
He has no idea.
Look at this, baby.
Get the hell out of here! You're such a... That's a toad! Oh yeah, he's pretty good. You suck! You suck! Oh my gosh! That's ridiculous! Get out! Dude, you must have your pants. Dude, what the hell? Look at his threes even. I mean, oh. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Wow.
Oh my God.
Dude, you're not going to be able to move it 15 feet.
Well, hey guys, thanks for watching. Again, I'm sorry the video's terrible. I'm not gonna blow another hunt, especially one of that caliber, because I have messed up a few in the past. Or I draw back and I'm one eye out my sight window and the other eye on the camera, and I ended up missing a couple bucks like that, and I just couldn't handle missing another one, especially this big. And he ended up, it's probably gonna be a buck of a lifetime for me in Pennsylvania. 163 and 5/8. He's almost as big as this one here behind me, but that's a Saskatchewan deer, and they're not too hard to kill a big one up there. But this I'm certainly proud of, and it's going to be a long time before I ever top this in Pennsylvania, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to ride this wave for as long as I possibly can. Again, thank you guys for watching.